Okay, so I am here with two other colleagues from my school, and we are going to talk about teacher burnout or demoralization. What's the difference and why does it matter? We all teach at the same school and all work with high school students, except we're all in different areas. I'm in English. I'm in the transition house.
And I co-teach. I'm a special education teacher who co-teaches in the English classroom.
Okay, so getting into it, what did you guys think the definition of burnout was?
Burnout to me was like the final straw. Like you are done, you want to leave the profession, you just really have nothing left to give to the teaching profession. Whereas opposed demoralization, I think that you still have something left and you still have the opportunity to be rejuvenated and you still want to remain a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I think although that's true, that's only if something in the system changes. You know what I mean? Because the way I saw it was that burnout was like at the fault of the individual. This person is done. They no longer want to learn. They no longer want to move on in the profession. Mm-hmm. They are uninterested in the content, the students, whatever. But with the demoralization, it's more these people are feeling defeated because the system is at fault. So whether it's too much standardized testing, or they're not feeling supported or connected with other teachers, or maybe the administrators are confusing them because there's too many administrators doing too many different things. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But the point is that with demoralization, it can be fixed if the system changes.
Mm-hmm.
Where burnout, the person is the only person that can fix that.
Yeah, it's intrinsic. They have to do something about it, or they just have to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Which I kind of feel like burnout happens a lot at the end of people's careers because they just can't do it anymore, or they have other things going on in their lives, or somebody has been ill in their life and they've been taking care of them, or whatever the case. It just becomes, this job has become too tedious. I don't want to do that anymore every single day. Now, some of that can be because of the demands made on them, where you just start to get like, I can't do the job I wanted to do, and now I'm burnt out on the tediousness of keeping track of scores and doing all these other things. So I guess in some ways it can be mixed, but I just feel like most of the people that I know are leaving early on in their career. Like you're seeing people get maybe 5 years teaching it, and then they just either they try to move to a different school and they can't get in because they're too valuable, contract-wise, or they just feel like they could make more money and be valued for what they do. You just don't always feel valued as a teacher when every time you turn around you're asked to do something.
If teachers are leaving early on in their career, it has to be demoralization.
Yes.
There's no other explanation.
Right. You're too young to be burned out on what you're doing.
And it has to be, I think it's because of the motivation. Where's the motivation? What is it tied to? Like, if I can't ever, whether it's about the money or opportunities to do more, on committees, or feel like their opinion is valued or whatever, there has to be some type of motivation. And I just feel like sometimes that's not always the case.
No, definitely.
And we're asked to do more for less. Like a lot of times, they put more responsibilities on the teachers, but there's no money tied to it. There's no more time for planning tied to it. And so it comes out of our own resources.
I liked too that in the article it talked about just changing the term for it. So in some ways, yes, demoralization can be a result of burning out on the job, but like burnout has the connotation of being like your fault. Like, oh, you couldn't hack it, or you couldn't get through. And like you did something wrong, whereas it was all these added responsibilities that were something you never signed up for, and darn well is not valuable to your students that you're trying to reach every day, and so you just get sick of it.
Well, and imagine if we did that to our kids. Imagine if they didn't know what the expectation was or how to reach it, and we just kept putting more and more and more on them, then we would be considered poor teachers. But that's what's happening to us.
All the time.
All the time.
I liked too that it talked about that she had cited high stakes testing, punitive accountability systems, narrowing curriculum as the main causes of demoralization. And I really couldn't agree more with that. I think the narrowing curriculum has been such a disservice. I understand why we want to create a common core system where, okay, I have a student that comes to me from Tennessee and they know that in the first, by 12th grade, this is what they would be learning in my class. Like, I understand that skills-based wise, but I feel like, at least in our schools, it's gone so far that they're telling you exactly what you're going to teach, and you have to have it planned out just perfectly, and you can never change anything because then you're going to not be ready for your common assessment. And that just should not be what teaching is, because we all know that every class is different, every student is different, and their needs are different, and that you have to meet them where they are and then bring them to where they can be. And not...
We have focused on teaching kids as a whole system rather than teaching them individually. And it's funny because, I moved a lot as a kid, so I could see the benefits of, if you go from the state of New York as a sophomore to the state of Illinois, you should be able to pick up where you left off. And I get that.
Yeah.
But then, there still has to be tracks and there still has to be different things, because if I leave New York and I get to Illinois and they're 1 year behind New York, then I'm bored for a year while the other kids are catching up.
Right.
So I get it, but I just think we're not leaving it up to the individual teachers to reach the individual students, and we're not trusting teachers to make decisions for the students because we're trying to make everything fit into a certain box.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you had make a good point with that, where you had said that we're not trusted to make the decisions. Like, we're the ones who went to school for this. We're the ones that know what is best for our students, and we're the ones that talk to them every day. I mean,
and what other profession doesn't consider the professional's opinion?
Right. Right.
You're not gonna build a house without an architect or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't ask the receptionist what she thinks I should do. I ask my doctor.
Right.
Like,
Yes, exactly.
right? So she might know some things about me, black and white in the computer, but she doesn't know what I need. She hasn't talked to me on a day-to-day basis
Right.
like you do with students.
One other thing that I thought was interesting, we talked about learning new technology. And I thought the difference between burnout and demoralization is more, so I could see where some teachers are burnt out because they're like, I'm not willing to try, I'm not willing to learn new technology. I don't want to put my time and effort into that because I'm almost done or whatever. But with demoralization, it's more like, I'm willing to learn the new technology, but you're not giving me the time, or you're not giving me the support. I struggle with technology and I don't know how to do this on my own. I need to be taught, or I need to, be given the time to do this out, like within my work hours, for example. Because I've experienced that, like, I don't love technology. I actually like to learn new technology, but it takes me some time. And I get frustrated when it's coming out of like my family time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And in technology, you have to practice it over and over, or it's just a lost skill. Like, you can show me something at an institute day, and I'll take notes on it, and then it's out of sight, out of mind, because I don't know where I'm going to incorporate it or whatever. And I think, too, it's important, just like, everybody's individuals. And some of my best teachers were storytellers. They didn't need technology to teach me anything. They didn't need a textbook. They didn't need any of those tools. And so to force people all the time to fit a certain mold because we think for some reason that's what it should be, I just think that it would be helpful if administrators would not do that and would consider what your strengths are. I like to use a balance of technology in my teaching, but there are some teachers who use it really well, and I applaud them for that, and I would love to be in their class, but I can't do that. It's not natural to me.
Right.
So.
No, I agree. That's how I think.
One thing that I struggle with is we have these demands or things that we're supposed to do, and then it doesn't really fit in the evaluation tool, if that makes sense. So we are told to do this, this, and this, but then when we're getting evaluated, we're supposed to do this, this, and this. And like with what you said with technology, like you almost have to use technology in
To get good.
in your evaluation.
Yeah.
But then I see what you're saying when it's like, well, this was just nonsensical to like add this
Right.
extra component. It doesn't help the students in any way that I put a bell ringer on the
Right.
iPad or whatever.
Right.
I get demoralized when I don't see the connection
Yeah.
and the
You're just
value.
doing it to jump through
Yes,
hoops.
yes, and the value of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is I think so often whoever's evaluating us doesn't even consider that. We're just checking out the box.
Yes,
like,
right.
Make sure it's there.
Right.
Yeah, there, check. There, check.
Right.
And then you get a good evaluation and nobody understands the connection.
Right. And the irony of it all is that evaluations are supposed to be making us better, reflective teachers, but it's really just about checking off the box and making sure that I haven't done the bad things on there.
And then what worries me is that the opposite can be true too. So like maybe something that's not specifically mentioned in my evaluation would like come up in conversation with my evaluator, which gives me anxiety because I didn't know that that was an expectation. So like as an example, in the special ed department, a lot of times our director talks about how well we perform in our meetings. And I'm like, and she always gives me great, marks and great comments for it, but I never realized that was even part of it because it's
Right.
not listed in there.
Right.
So I really got kind of lucky that's a
That you
strength of
even
mine.
do that.
Yeah, but what about people that's not a strength?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. What did you guys think about the part that was talking about? So the question was, you addressed some ways leaders can be sources of teacher remoralization, including unions. What were the teachers you interviewed looking for in their unions? So she says, the teachers I talked to were excited when unions articulated the ideals of the profession. Obviously, the bread and butter issues are important, but whenever they heard language articulating their moral concerns about what was happening to the profession coming from the union, they felt supported and connected. Here is what the profession of teaching is all about. Here is what our students deserve, and this is what we're going to stand up for you and your autonomy as a professional. Do you feel like we have that at our school?
That's what I was just gonna say. I feel like that's huge. I feel like the connectivity is huge and the support is huge, but I feel like our specific union lacks that. I
Yes.
think we are split, and that's part of the problem.
I think some split in the sense that some people think that this is happening, and some people don't feel that that happens.
I think we're split because some people are truly burnt out and others are just demoralized.
Right.
And we don't understand the difference.
Right.
In the burnouts, I'm interested in remoralizing.
Right.
Right.
They just want to finish. They're close
Yeah.
to the end.
Yes.
And they want to be done. And they look at us probably with a lot of pity because they know they'd be in the same position that we are.
Right.
And so they're going, well, good luck.
And while I understand their point of view
Yeah.
and their perspective, then that's fine, but then just get out of the way and let us work towards
Yes.
remoralization.
Right.
I
Don't
agree.
involve yourself in the process.
Right.
Don't fight us.
Yes.
Right. It would be very helpful.
I think our union should listen to this chat.
But, and it's interesting because it talks about being listened to, and I think that could happen throughout our whole school, in the union and with our administration. I just feel like I'm always being told what to do and not asked what might be best or what would be logical.
I feel like we've only been asked a handful of times about our opinion, and even then it feels like it's just policy. Like they're not really interested in what
Yeah.
they
Right.
have to say.
Right.
They're just trying to appease us.
Right.
I think, listening is definitely what teachers, in my opinion, want the most. Is just to be heard, and even if changes aren't made, just feeling, like you said, like it's not an appeasement thing. It's like, okay, I see what you're saying, maybe we can find common ground, or I don't think that would work for this, and this reason,
Right.
It's more like there's more thought into it as opposed to just like a quick conversation and, our voices are, that's that after the conversation's had.
Exactly, because I think we're all professionals and we know that what we want can't always be what gets done.
Well, and here, the reality of the situation is, those people that are burnt out, they've been there, they've been through the process. Like when it comes to unions, we do need them for leadership.
Yes.
But because they're so burnt out, they're not mentoring us. So it's like somehow we need to connect and work towards the greater good of everybody.
Agreed.